A postdoctoral party or banquet is an academic evening affair, and in a way, the culmination of your big day. Traditionally, invitations to the party are sent to people who have in some way helped you to complete your dissertation. The examination itself is a public event that is open to all, but typically one of those named in the party invitation may only attend the party. However, you may choose to take a different approach, and I will discuss your options later. You should prepare your invitations carefully because the more information your guests have, the more successful your party will be. I personally provided my guests, particularly relatives, with a general overview of the examination day. Many people wondered what they should wear, what happens at a public defense, and what sort of gifts are appropriate, and so on. This special day might make those who are unfamiliar with the traditions feel nervous, but with clear instructions, you can help them enjoy the experience as well. After all, how would you seek to find out what is involved in some other unfamiliar celebration? I would assume by asking the person arranging the events. So this means that you may receive dozens of emails and calls and texts when you will have plenty of other things on your mind. Therefore, the more information available to your guests in the invitation, the more time you will have to focus on yourself, and your guests can focus on supporting you. You can include an informal set of instructions and a map of the location with the formal invitation letter. You should also mention a specific date by which you would like your guests to let you know if they wish to attend, and notify you of any food allergies, as well as preferred RSVP method and contact person. It's also important to include information regarding the dress code of different events during the day. When should the party begin? You should also allow yourself some time for changing your clothes after the post-examination coffee. You may want to put on a clean shirt and a tie or an evening gown. Traditionally, women wear a black evening gown in an academic celebration, but your field of study may have some informal traditions, and you should ask your department about all of this. Creating a seating arrangement is important. Allocate each guest a specific seat and write down the menu for every table. You should carefully observe traditions. Important academic people typically sit in the main banquet table. The candidate chooses one of the central seats for themselves on either side of the table. The candidate never sits at the end of the table. The opponent sits in the place of honor on the candidate's right side, and if there are two opponents, the main opponent is given this seat. The custos sits on the left side of the candidate. If there are two opponents, the second one of them should sit on the candidate's left side, and the custos will move one seat to the left. Many have heard of a gifts table, but what about a hat table? Actually, you as the doctoral candidate do not have a doctoral hat or a sword, because at the banquet you will not yet be a fully fledged doctor. The faculty council will grant you the title based on your opponents and the examining board's statements. Once you have your diploma, you can purchase the hat and the sword if you want. However, a banquet traditionally has a hat table where the doctors taking part in the dinner leave their hats, and this allows you to tell how many doctors there are present. You can include a wish list for gifts in the invitation. In addition to this, think about whether you should buy your opponent, custos, and supervisor something to thank them. Here too, you can ask for your colleagues' advice, as they will know what the tradition in your field are. There are alternatives to the traditional postdoctoral party. You can arrange a very small occasion and take only your custos, supervisor, pre-examiners, opponent, and the member of the examining board out to eat. It is acceptable to have a meal with the key figures directly after the examination and later celebrate with friends and family. I know that in some fields you sell dinner invitations to the members of the academic community, in which case the guests do not have to buy gifts for the candidate. And this is done with all candidates in order to treat everyone equally. However, the opponent and the other guests of honor do not have to pay for their own dinners. Ask colleagues to find out what the traditions in your field are.